is now live. Again, once again, asking for other drivers to please head back into your cars so we could go ahead with qualifying. As we go, we'll go to a short track guide to bring people through how the track goes. This is Northwest Ohio, one of the oldest tracks on the 8 chassis schedule. You can see T7 Jake right there, now having been reset with about a half-kilometer long front stretch, maybe a little bit longer, into a very sharp and practically untouched turn 1. There have been changes, as you can see, to adding a further barrier. There have been some instances where drivers have ran completely off. As we head down the straightaway, most drivers will preferably brake between the 200 and 100 marker into a sharp right and left chicane. Stay out of that gravel. That gravel on this turn is extremely rough, and you might want to be flat out on your exit, although you may not want to be fully. Sometimes you might run a little wide, and lines will very, very much be important on that exit into the carousel as we go through it. Through the carousel, you just want to run it through, line yourself up for the next chicane. Stay completely out of the gravel trap here. It's game over if you do so. Cut into this tight little right-left kink, as I'd say, into sweepers onto the straightaway. A little bit of braking, although you might just prefer just generally laying off. As you go flat out through the S's into the longest straightaway of the track. I'm not 100% sure how long it is, but I believe I measured it at 1600 studs, which is relatively long. Actually, I think it was more than 1600. And at this turn in the GTIs, you would want to brake at the 300 marker because of how much faster they go. But in the ROX mods, you generally speaking would want to brake later into a left-hand turn, so making yourself go over to the right. Be careful, it's very bumpy. Drivers may end up de-weighting themselves, hitting the wall instead of going left. Very much so depends on your weight transfer as you make your way over through to the last sector. Only a couple more turns. You just kind of go through these ones. Absolutely stay off the gravel here, because if you go through here, that wall might look like it's far away, but just within a second you'll be hitting it. So you make the way into the last sector, into the straightaway, into what was formerly the sharpest chicane, or the sharpest hairpin in the SLC schedule, now replaced by a chicane as of last race. This one is not as technical, still tricky. Drivers have generally complimented very well on this as you make your way over to a flat-out right-hander into the last sector. Just make sure you line up a little bit straight. Once again, another right into the last few little set of S's. Then you go through the final turn, make sure you hit those curbs, and that is what one lap looks like on this track. This is a very, very tough track. Not the toughest on the schedule, in my opinion, but, you know, will obviously vary by driver. As we are now going to start pacing. Once the lights go yellow, you can start going with the person ahead of you goes. Yeah, try this mutually. Alright, pacing is now starting. As you can see, East 951 sporting a scheme in tribute of his uncle, Joey Carufus. An ARCA ARCA East champion, as well as a NASCAR Xfinity and Cup driver through some various chances. You can also see in the Tech car, Jen, as well as Twin Triple V6, our reigning champion, has been dominating. Jason has been given a few offers, interestingly enough, although he has been driving pretty decently. And number 05 making another start once again. Your big boom. Oh no, that's some thunder. Alright, best of luck. Dale Ross, otherwise known as a Crucian, has been powering it through a hurricane. And should he get through this one, I might as well call the man Hurricane Man. Harris Netta seemingly having a little bit of a lag spike in the back. Brakes are gone, as she says. Speed SR1 also in the back, so we make our way down the back straightaway of Northwest Ohio. And as you can see, the current timings as a practice, the Twin Triple V sits with a 127.755. The rest of the times on the board. He's been dominant during practice with Moustier. We'll have to see what he does during this qualifying session. Timer has now been reset as we're going to Make sure everything in the system check is in work. Everything seems to be working just fine. Once we get past the chicane, I will be increasing speed, although I will be relying off of you guys to maintain 60 miles an hour. It is okay if you start to miss the first little bit of qualifying. You will more than likely make up later. Alright, everyone, please maintain 60 miles an hour. I'm going to increase pace so I could get the start. As I believe it was East 951 for Rudolph's Racing Team. Going to be starting up at first for our qualifying session. East 951 makes its way over to the final turn as a green flag is out for qualifying. Timeout going to start the moment they cross the line. Here we go. 5 minutes on the board. That gives you guys a few minutes to run your laps. Lights on the track going green. It's East 951 with a decent looking line out of turn number 1. Jen side by side. Jason now making the move. Starting to make his way through the chicane. So far so good for everyone that's made their way through. Nominal number 5 making up a little bit of ground. Jason still side by side with Jen. Jen making his way through the carousel down the inside as Jason runs out. Jason now trying to see if he can pick up some ground. Loses a bit on the braking. Nominal 5 now going to slip through. Only temporarily, Nominal 5 losing it. Shive 21 making his way by Speedy XR1. Meanwhile, Jen making up ground and East 951 down the back straightaway. We're going to look at those times through the first sector. So far, Speedy XR1, Twin Triple V6 have not been green for this sector. They've been red, so their laps are currently invalid. As Jen making up ground little by little on East 951. Arizona also, you can see, making up ground as Jen slaps it into the barrier. Air's now picking up towards the outside. Now making way around the outside like a slingshot on Twin Triple V6 into the chicane. We're seeing the first lap starting to get completed very shortly here, as Arizona has found herself in a bit of a battle during the qualifying between her and Twin Turbo V6. Hopefully my mic works. Yes, it does appear to be working functionally. Arizona currently ahead, although Twin might get a better exit. Looks about even. The two of them making up a little bit of ground in East 951. I think that might be a Crucian starting to try to take off. Is he having issues, though? Might be stuck on one of those barriers. Are you stuck? No. Okay. Crucian more than likely not going to start running laps. There's 3 minutes on the board, plus the amount of time that it takes for a leader to cross the line on their final lap. Twin Turbo V6 once again slipping by Arizona as Twin Turbo V6 gets loose, spins out. Twin Turbo V6 has fully spun himself around the S's. Jen is by, so is Shibe, as Arizona making up a little bit more ground in East 951. Looking at the boards, she is quick time with a 1 minute 32 second lap. Shive is in second place, East 951 in third, Jen in fourth, as Narwhal takes over the fifth place spot. Jason in sixth, although you can see Speed Xer 1 and 7, Twin in 8th, although Purple on Sector 1. Arizona, Purple Sector 2. We'll have to see if Twin does anything later on. East 951 runs a little wide through the chicane as is side-by-side for the qualifying lead. Arizona now the leader of qualifying as time goes. She is very fast, although I think that might have just about invalidated her lap. We'll have to see East 951 back at it. And Arizona with a decent looking exit. Will this lap be fouled? Yes, it will be. It'll go quick time once again. It's not a good looking Sector 2 for Twin Turbo V6. Meanwhile, Crucian going to have to make up a lot of ground. Got stuck through the hurricane. And he's finally recovered enough to get back driving. Arizona making a way around the carousel. 1 minute 30 seconds left. More than likely 2 laps left for the drivers. Whom are behind Arizona. As you can see, East 951 behind on the S's there. I'm going to move this out. Well, actually, let me see if I could. East951 has lost a little bit of ground. We're going to go over to Aris Netta once again. Aris Netta on the Sector 2. Purple. Currently trying to now figure out how the spectator thing is working. Sorry for those little tiny issues. Meanwhile, Aris Netta, Purple Sector 2 goes wide once again out of the final turn as T7 Shake has made its way out to do some qualifying laps. There's Netta now going wide out of the final turn. Will she go quick time once again? Yes, she does! And it's a 1 minute 28.816. That is a very quick lap for her. We're going to see a Mustang is a driver. Unfortunately, no. But you can... As to confirm, guys, this is the last lap if you're behind Aris Netta, or whoever the leader will be by the end of this lap. As for Speed Answer 1, it depends if you're overtaken or not by Aris Netta. She is coming in hot. As she makes her way, Twin Turbo now takes back the pole position from Aris Netta as he makes his way over the S's. Aris Netta is still the leader of the qualifying pack. As the times currently, Twin Turbo V sits Aris Netta in the second place spot. Jen is in third. Shipe in fourth. East951 in fifth. Sits is a Crucian, our Hurricane Man. Jason in eighth. Jason in seventh. As Jake has not had a foul lap. Aris Netta will spin out around the chicane. As you can see, East951 making their way through the chicane now. If you guys could please do me a favor, do a slow cooldown lap once you guys finish this lap. So we're now going to watch our leaders make their way through. T7 Jake, you still got one to go. One to go for T7 Jake. Aris Netta goes wide. She spins out on the final turn. East951 going to be the leader of this one. I know how that one feels. Thankfully, this is just qualifying. Shy gets by. So does Twin. Aris Netta, that is what your lead factor in qualifying is. If you guys could do me a favor, do a cooldown lap, would be greatly appreciated. And T7 Jake is going to pull off early. Jen makes his way through. Narwaller 05. As Jason Dady and Crucian make their way through. We'll see what those lap times are. I believe that is everyone that was bound to do a lap. Waiting on Speed Answer 1. Please do not overtake Speed Answer 1. If there's anyone around there, Speed Answer 1 now makes his way through. Lap time is on the board, so we see our qualifiers. Alright, everyone do a cooldown lap. This is your qualifying positions. Twin Turbo V6 will get the pole position. We're going to be lined up single file, by the way. Aris Netta will be in second place. Shibe will be in third. Line up on the grid. So actually don't head into the pits. We're going to line up on the grid. Jen will be in fourth. East951 in the fifth place position. Crucian in sixth place. Jason in seventh. Noveler in eighth. And Speedy XR1 in ninth. 10th place will go to T7 Jake. Alright, guys, don't cross the line just yet. Do not cross the line. Go into the grid. Go to the grid. East951 to the grid. We gotta have our drivers make their way to the grid so we can get this race started. In position, though, please. So East951 gives some space. Let Twin Turbo in order. So Twin Turbo ahead. Aris in second. Shibe in third. Jen in fourth. Do not line up on the grid. These cars are too big for the grid. Just line up single file behind me. No, the problem is lag issues. Because again, you guys are going to be all clumped up in... If you recall correctly how grid starts look, it does cause some mild issues. So Shibe in third. Remember, press C or Z on the board. So you can find your lap times, your position. Crucian, give some space back to East 951. You're a little bit close. Novel 5. Give a spot back because Jason is ahead of you. Speed hits are 1. Jason making his way over around, so speed hits are 1. T7 Jake, you could, Jason, to the grid. You're ahead of Novel 5. And if you guys could please turn your cars off once you guys reach the grid. So Jason, back to the grid. Do not cross the line. Speeds are 1 still to make his way through to the line. We're bound to get a 20-lap race here. And speeds are 1, a little bit of an overcook there. Speeds are 1, making his way through. There's now with a disconnection. I'm just going to ask nicely for Jake to please show to the racetrack. But if not, then, well, so be it. Okay, Jake currently not wanting to speak, so as is regular. T7 Jake has. We are going to ask again for confirmation from T7 Jake. Is he going to go to the grid, yes or no? We'll give the man 1 minute. If he does not respond in this minute, he will be reset and his car will be removed. And the other cars will be cleared. Most cars have been cleared, though we had potential confirmation from JD Kelly of an interest, at least, to drive. I don't know if this exactly confirms anything. There's now, again, disconnecting. We will indeed be pacing for 2 laps, just to set everything forth. Just Chilean Wi-Fi, I suppose. We will be running the first lap at a casual cruising speed. But we will start to increase as things go on. For the second lap, of course. Although, once again, for the actual event, okay, well, Jake and JD Kelly will have their cars removed. So we are now shortly going to start the United States anthem. If you guys could please rise. We will get to this shortly. Okay. Music bot is currently unavailable. It will only be heard on the stream, although if you do watch the stream, you will be able to hear the audio. Alright, drivers, start heading into your cars. We are about to get into the go. Do not start your cars yet. The fire off command will start up very shortly. We just need to start out the push to talk. Once again, repeating for drivers to get into the cars. You will start your car once you are ready. We will go once all cars are started, but hold up from the startup command. And we see Shive21 has been out of his car. Crucian also out of his car, so we're going to be waiting a Crucian potentially to see. Once again, he has been struggling through this tough time. Probably should actually hold that at half staff, so let me do that out of respect. Wasn't expecting the hurricane, so... This will be a 20-lap race. We will be starting once Daniel and Crucian have made their way to the grid and lined up. But until then, please leave the space open for Crucian. I will do the start command. So drivers that are ready, please start your engines. We're still currently waiting on a Crucian to make his way over. Understandable why he is unable to currently compete. So please do have patience. He is currently going through a hurricane, probably saw lightning. So have patience. We will start as soon as he's ready. And as far as cuts will go on this track, we will be doing... Well, it's 20 laps. We'll be doing a 25 cut limit before a 10-second penalty. I believe this is reachable given that the race itself is 20 laps in length. So, should be okay. We will be waiting till 7:35 for a Crucian to make his way into his car. If you guys can please stay in your car, I want you guys to stay ready as much as you can. You guys have started your engines. I would prefer focus. Please. Shibe, if you could return to your car. We will be having patience for Crucian there. Currently out in, believe some part of Florida. No information of what part. Has been struggling though throughout the day. More than likely from the hurricane. So we do wish the Crucian the best of luck, and with hopes and safety for the SLC members and viewers, should there be any in the Florida area. We wish you the best of luck in hopes of safety. We stand with you. There will be 1 minute until Crucian will. We will start without Crucian. We will let the Crucian start later as of slightly special permissions given the natural disaster circumstance, which is completely out of his control. But if he finishes the race, we will let him finish the race. It is currently 7:35, so we are about to get started. Okay. If he does go, he will be starting from the rear of the field. But as soon as the lights turn yellow, you guys can start pacing. We'll be doing 2 pace laps. So you guys would be pacing from the person ahead of you. You'll go when the lights turn yellow. Drivers are now pacing. Try to organize yourselves there in third at the podium, please. Shibe 21 currently with a little bit of a crash at the start. Alright, guys, please give space and be careful on your tire warming. You guys are being a little bit sketchy with your tire warming. We will fit the laps on the back straightaway. Convenient that is located there. Arisnetta, please refrain from Max Verstappen's shenanigans. Remember that the grass is extremely slippery, so I suggest you stay off it, especially while tire warming. As Twin Turbo V6 decides to be rebellious. Please do what you can to not disrupt the pacing. Try to drive a line that matches the racing line so that we could get our pacing to be smooth. Please refrain from pacing. It seems like pacing isn't working very well. We will be 15 laps on the backstretch. So we currently have 2 laps of pace. See your grid there. Just a little bit of multitasking just to make sure everything's in check. If somebody crashes, you are allowed to overtake them, but do try to give them the room back. There's a little bit of a combobble in the back of the field. As for the first time in the ROX Mods history, we've actually managed to get a successful race going with at least an 8-car field. We have 10 starters, although only out of 10 starters, you only have a few Then we'll be starting the race so far, it seems. Unless Dale does rejoin. If Dale does rejoin, he will be allowed back. Speed R1 currently going AFK. We will be going without Speed R1 unless he can make his way over. Crucian now technically dropped a lap down, although he will be brought back. Crucian, if you are, or Dale, if you are able to hear this, please wait until the start of the race and start from the pit lane. You'll be able to regroup. Jen crashing on turn 2. Please give space for Jen to regroup. Pacing is appearing pretty decently. Currently 7 people at the front of the field. Speeds R1 having fallen behind a good little distance. To make our way into the back stretch, we're going to try to control the pacing, see if we can stall. Merge on the start. So go to the end of the pit lane on turn 1. And wait till everyone passes by. We're going to try to control pacing for the sake of Speed R1. He's a good distance behind. Speed R1 still a good distance behind. So we're hoping for the best. That he can regroup. Okay, you can merge. Speed R1, you can merge, but you will be waiting for them to pass. So just wait until Dell passes you. Technically speaking, I do believe he qualified better than you anyways. Alright, everyone hold their pace, 60 miles an hour. We're going to accelerate for myself, but everyone else please maintain 60. And Dale, start when you're cleared. I'll be watching. Everyone hold pace. Everyone hold pace. Green flag, green flag. Hold the jumps. Please do not jump. Jump between shy might be observed. We'll have to see. This is Crucian clear to launch. Arisnetta will back the position. No jump called. Gave up. Shy gave up position. As the first lap is in, Twin Turbo V sits to an early lead. Speed R1, please stop your car and wait. You will be given back your lap. As a Crucian is already made his way by Nominal 05, starting from the pit lane. Eastern 501 having fallen back a little bit himself. There's Jen. Jen making up a little bit of ground here. Oh, wow, it was a big one for Shy, but once again into the barriers. Lights are green, I do apologize about that. Crucian is going to find himself by East 951. Also, there's not a side-by-side with Jen for the second place spot. Jen tries to make a move around the outside. Not quite going to work very well for him. As Aries gets a bad exit, coming to the final turn. Alright, Speed R1, wait for the whole field to pass, and you can start going and wait for everyone to go past. There is... Wait for Nar to pass by. Actually, wait for Jason. Wait for Jason and Shibe. Wait. Okay, clear to go. There's now still side by side with Jen down into, once again, it looks like it's the high-speed chicane here. There's now currently getting a little bit ahead of Jen onto the back straight. I do apologize about that. And Twin now seemingly a whole quarter mile ahead of the field. Whole 2.5 seconds there. There's Ned lost a little bit of ground. Jen tries to peek around the outside. Harris is going to slip it through. Looks like a good exit, though, for Jen as they make the way over through to the final sector. Jen picking up towards the inside of Harris for a moment there. Both of them going really wide into the sand trap. I've seen the strategy before. Please refrain from making that intentional. Harris and Jen. If it is gray, it is okay. If it is not gray, it's probably not. Unless it's dirt racing. That's the wall. There's Netta and Jen. Jen is staying as much as he can. Looking at the cuts as they go. Already, speed hits are 1. Very close to a penalty. We move up to the lead lap for the time being. There is Jen. Speed hits are 1, rolling by slowly. Seemingly probably had a small issue. Crucian has been definitely one of the more noticeable talking points. Hurricane Man, as I'm going to call from this point, has been driving. There's a lag spike as he's making his way around towards Shive 21. Little by little, might find his way by, coming down to the back straightaway. Both of them go. It's a little wide there for Shive, but it's good looking nets for him. Novel 05 just at the end of the straightaway, as you can see, ground closing in between Shive and Crucian. Crucian, otherwise known as Dale Ross. And there's some ground being breaking through once again. We'll watch these two at the end of the lap unless something else happens. It looks like Shive went a little wide there. Same action between Eris and Jen. Twin sits currently on a power run. Goes quick time with a 128.776. That's a great looking lap for him. Shive 21 now overtaken, or not quite overtaken yet. Goes a little wide there. Here's Lucian. Currently in our third lap out of 20. This is a 30-minute race. We'll have to see. It might even go a little shorter. Speeds are 1. Chopping the wall. Let's see if there's any close battles at the time. Doesn't look quite so much, though. Shive 21 has been interesting to watch, especially now going wide. Spins himself out. But he will collect himself together enough just to keep going. Now side by side with the Crucian. Crucian now within reach. Will he be able to do anything? You'll see Snap 5-1, Novel 05. Going side by side down the back straightaway. Eastline 5-1 made a mild mistake, too, it seems, at some point. Shive 21, for the time being, has escaped. Only for a little bit. The Crucian making up ground as a Novel 05 with the better exit. Then Eastline 5-1 slides through into the 4th place spot. Eastline 5-1 now shoved back into 5th place. There's Shive 21 once again going wide. And Speed to 1 now 1 lap down. We now see a 4-way battle string up in the midfield. There's Netta back at it with Jen. Only for the time being, Jen has slapped the wall, according to the audio. Lost the gap they had. Eastline 5-1 running his way through the final turn. Shive goes a little wide. Eastline 5-1 with a good looking at it side by side down the front straightaway into turn 1. As Shive tries to make an overtake, goes by Novel 05, tries to get by Eastline 5-1. A little bit of a tap in the wall, unfortunately. Although he's still within the fighting reach. You do not know who's going to be at the lead of this by the end of this one. Even a Crucian could come up at some point. Just make sure things are going as they should be. Eastline 5-1 holding off 4th place for the time being. But Shive So in the other red car, as you can see, making up more ground down the back straight. And it's a close one, almost approaching side by side. The two former teammates from DGS make their way over to the really tough turn. And it looks like Speedator 1 is loose again. Shibe side by side with East, now slides through into 4th place. Is East 951 going to try to do anything about this one? We'll have to see as they make their way into the final sector. Currently 5 laps into this race, rolling in, or well, currently going to 5 laps for these guys. Twin has made it 5 laps in as Shibe has slowed down tremendously, lost 1 spot, now 2. Seemingly clipped the wall going into the chicane. They're still within fighting reach of both of them. So is a Crucian as number 5. Two of them very similar looking cars. You can tell the difference being the number color and the DGS on the back of Shibe's car. And there's Shibe making his way down the front stretch back into 5th place and closing in on East once again. They're going to go back side by side. Shibe 21 makes the move down the chicane. East 951 trying to make a move through. Still side by side, make the way around through the carousel. Shibe 21 takes the point from his former teammate. East 951 though with a good looking run, making their way down as it looks like that was, I believe, Novel 05 made a bit of a mistake there. Shibe 21 though to 4th place. I didn't spot really where that happened, unfortunately, as it's another little wall tap for East 951. It looked like for a moment there it was going to be a very struggling one for Shibe to get back, but he's right back into 4th. Meanwhile, it looks like a Crucian East might be back into some drama, and within a near time. Looking over at the timing board once again, another quick time for Twin Turbo V6. I think that might be the record, although I think he had set a 127. So we'll have to see. A Crucian making up ground in East 951 though, making the way into the final set of S's. Now into the final turn. East 951 running that grass. It's a lot more slippery, especially in these ROX mods. It might not pose as much of an advantage in them as it is with GTI. As you can see, a Crucian side by side. East taps the wall, loses the 5th place spot, and now Crucian all the way from the pits and made his way up back into 5th. So he's already doing very well so far this race. There's Neto tapping the wall a little, seemingly struggling a bit back there. Jen might be able to capitalize on this sort of situation as the laps go on. If she keeps on making those mistakes, that could potentially lead to something later on. East 951. Looking at the laps, East 951 versus a Crucian. The Crucian has been doing a little bit better than East. Have to see on that second sector, see if the gap is closing in any. Looking at the last laps, though, looks like the way things are going, for sure, Crucian's going to start outrunning them. Crucian currently fast enough potentially to take on Shibe, maybe even Jen. It's good looking at it from East 951 there. Might be doing a little better in this last sector. And there's a Crucian East 951 make the way down the front stretch. The three of them now separate from their prior battle, as there seems to be no other major battles going on, at least at the time. It's a beautiful footage, though. I might be able to get some nice photos off this once this is over. Look over at, see what Twin Turbo V6 is doing for a lap. There's a slowing down Jason. Clear this out. Twin Currently 8 laps, almost at the halfway point. Got 2 to go. There's Jason 1 lap down. Of course, if there is a caution from any other driver, he will make his way back up to the lead lap. Of course, only time will tell. Twin Turbo V6. Looks like he's lost a little bit of the gap with Eris here. Look at his first person view. Things are not working too well. Just beautiful lines though overall by Twin. Absolute car control to the limits. Almost touches the wall. These ROX mods are a lot more lenient on cuts. They're a lot wider than the GTIs. So they allow you to sort of space out a bit more. C95 as Twin, making his way through. And it's a purple sector 2. Sector 1, not the best, but that sector 2 was just absolutely blistering. Blisteringly quick. Twin Turbo V6. Will he go quicker once again? No, he will not. There's Netta a good little bit behind. There's Jason. See if we get some footage. We're currently almost at the halfway point of this race. There's Twin Turbo V6 making his way through. Twin Turbo V6 made his way over to the last lead lap. There's a car in the pit lane that appears to be Nobbler 05. Nobbler 05 has pulled it in. See if I get some more footage real quickly. Once Twin crosses the line, it's the... one second. Once Twin has crossed the line, we are going to be at the halfway point. There's a Crucian. It's Twin and East 951. To make the way down the backstretch. Twin Turbo V6. We are now at the cross flags. We are halfway done with the race. Shy 21 now fine to stay. Actually, fine to get by Jen. We just about missed this battle that stirred up. Made its way all the way over into fighting for the podium once again. Had a hard crash at the start of the race. But he's make that ground up side by side with Jen for the podium for DGS. Shibe has made up a spot for the time being. Both of them side by side very narrowly. So we're going to look over the podiums. Speedy at 01 will technically get a 10-second time penalty. I'm not sure how much that would really matter at this point, but we'll have to see as there might be a caution. Shibe 21 now trying to pick up to the inside. Taps the wall just a bit. It's a little loose there for Shibe. As Jen has once again lost the ground he had with Shibe 21. So there's another podium for Brutalist coming up as things go. There's another for Fortune. We got 4 different teams all fighting for the top 4. As well as the independent driver in 5th. Shy making up a little bit of ground. There's Speedy at 1 with a spin. Shive side by side dives it into the inside, but Jen with a good exit around the outside gets away just for the time being. We'll have to see to make the way through to the final sector here. Shive's going very wide. More than likely overcooked into that turn. Lost a bit of speed. Jen desperately trying to get away from Shive. Shive desperately trying to get into the podium. Both of them here to prove something. And maybe Jen might get a triple podium. We'll have to see as things go on. It's looking good for both of them, although Shibe. Oh, gnarly one there for Shibe. Just about lost, but kept his car amazingly under control. Go back to that one, see if we can get a replay on that. Just stunning save. There's a small lag spike, no issue there. Switching over to the instant replay, so we are going to watch this slow-mo. Hopefully no battles going on. Doesn't sound like it though. Or is it? It's about going back to it. Shibe just about loses it though. Into the wall. Keeps his car well under control though. So great car control from Shibe 21. Go back into our capture. Did not miss the battle. Did not miss the move. But it's going to come up soon. Maybe sooner than I expected. Once again. Almost there. Shibe now at the bumper of Jen. Peek out towards the inside. Taps the wall once again. He's going to tap the wall on the outside. Like he did last lap. Looks like things are pretty good for Shibe and Jen here. But we're seeing still another battle between the red cars. As they make their way down the backstretch. This has been this has honestly been a bit of a nail biter. Looks like that might be a good breaking point for Shibe, but a little bit not so much on that exit. A little too tight on the exit for Shibe. Lost a bunch of speed. He's about back to where they both were. Another chance in, and it's 1 to go till we're 5 to go. For Twin Turbo, actually 2 to go for that. As there's Netta now 33 seconds behind for Twin Turbo V6. Oh, CEO of nearly losing it. Once again, Shibe 21. Impressive job just keeping that car under control. These ROX mods, they're not very easy to drive. They're very twitchy, yet understeery, yet also very oversteery. If you happen to sort of, get them loose, they do really get loose. But he's kept his car under control for the time being as he makes up ground on Jen side by side into the backstretch through the S's. And he makes the move. How long will this last? It's a good looking exit for Jen. Jen trying to do what he can side by side, make their way through past the backstretch into this tricky wall curve. I've seen so many people crash there. It's such an easy turn to mess up. Both of them are doing greatly through it. As Shibe goes wide, so does Jen, but not as much as Shibe. Though it looks like he didn't gain too much, did gain quite a bit though. Fantastic. Twin Turbo V sits now 1 away from 5 to go. Absolutely dominating the field. We will go over as soon as this battle seems to commence itself. Or, well, finish itself. Otherwise, we're still here for the battle of the podium. Looks like they actually are making up a little bit of ground here on Aris Netta. Shibe slams into the wall off of one, unfortunately, although still within range. Very much so, still within packing range. There's been that gap. There's Netta overlapping Jason for the second. Actually, Speedy gets R1 another time. As East 5-1 apparently in the battle with the Crucian, two of them switching positions. It's a good looking exit for Crucian. So there's the battle for the 5th place spot. Once again, side by side as they make their way through the carousel. He's a little bit to the point, but how long is that going to last? Dale Ross on Wes Carufus. Now side by side, making their way through the S's to the backstretch. The Crucian Dale Ross, he will make the move. As Carufus, good looking move, making his way over. Does seem to tap the wall a little bit there, lost a little bit of time. Shibe 21, yeah, a little bit separated. So back to Crucian versus East, as we will call them by their names in the game. There's Netta has been losing ground little by little. Jen has been maintaining Twin's pace. Eventually, at some point, Eris is going to eventually be within reach of Jen. And East 951 overcooks and slams into the barrier. He's going to get himself back rolling. Twin Turbo V6 is not far behind, only a couple turns. Very shortly might end up lapping East 951. We're going to look again once more for penalties. As the only one so far is Speedy at R1. We have 4 laps to go for Twin Turbo V6. So far things have generally spread out at the time being. Although Jen has been making up ground. We'll have to see. Good little bit between the two of them. So Twin Turbo V6 as it goes. Just some lag as Speedy at R1 says. Twin Turbo V6 just absolutely dominating once again. Another race with the ROX Mods. Twin. You know what? We're gonna let you guys see this without anything. Just enjoy Twin Turbo V6 for a moment here. So he's gonna roll into 3 laps to go this time by. See how this guy does it. There's East 951, previously seen in the battle from just a few moments ago. Now starting to get closed in on by Twin Turbo V6 as a lap car. 3 laps to go for there's 3 laps to go for Twin Turbo V6. And of course all else that have crossed the line behind him. I suppose at this point, more than likely, it might be that Eris might be closed in upon by Jen at some point. That's a little bit of overcooked for Speed at R1. Once again, loosen out. Shibe 21 trying to make up ground. Has been doing everything. So we look at the cuts. And it's looking good for Shibe, I believe. Yes. 3 laps to go for Jen and Shibe. Arizona not far ahead. Shibe going to go side by side for the 2nd place spot with Jen here. Or for 3rd place once again. And it's another hard smack for Shibe. A little late into the race too, so this could potentially be how he finishes. Although he's not quite 100% out of the battle, things will definitely happen. He's 951 now, 1 lap down to Crucian. You got to see up next as far as his turn goes. 2 laps to go for Twin Turbo V6. He's 951 crashes just a bit. If you look back between Jen into the wall, at least a little bit, and there's Shibe. Once again, looking at the timing board, there's Netta has not done what she's done for the past few races, which has been doing a surprise lap. He just completely dominates. And there's Twin through the first sector. So far, things have about spread out. Twin Turbo now going down on a Crucian. And now it goes down to the final sector. 2 more times to go for this guy. It's been an overall decent race here with a decent amount of battles. Wouldn't say for the lead, but overall for the second place spot, it's been pretty great. I'd say this is a good debut race for this race, and I say quite fitting the Twin has actually he's raced in the last time. Has a white flag now in the air for Twin Turbo V6. Looking over at the corner cuts, Speedits are 1, desperately close to getting 2 penalties. We're going to watch Twin Turbo V6 one more time around. Turns 2 and 3, through nice and clean. Now through the carousel he goes. And it's a good looking one for him. Enforcement will go. There's Netta with nothing too big. Just make sure there's no intense battles. Yes, there is for the podium, as there's going to be one lap to go after this one. Shibe and Jen. So you guys are coming to the white flag for you two. Meanwhile, for Twin, he made his way over to the final sector. White flag for everyone. White flag for everyone. Twin Turbo V6 now makes his way through the final set of curves. Make sure he doesn't have a penalty. Does not have any penalties whatsoever. Only a few more turns to go for Twin Turbo V6. Now they're the final S's. Making his way over to the final turn. Will he do anything celebratory? He's going to go straight through. Twin Turbo V6 will win at Northwest Ohio. Now looking over at the battle for second place. We'll have to see that one. Or for Eris Netta, she is making her way through. It's a close one though between Shibe and Jen. Jen has fallen back. Seemingly had a mistake. So he's going to find himself potentially in 4th place. Meanwhile, Eris Netta closing in on the last few set of turns. The Crucian, East 951, you two are done. Order is on the board. So please do a cooldown lap, you two. Eris Netta now only a few more turns for her. Just looking over at the board. Shibe is 1 cut away from a penalty. I suggest you do focus very dearly. Good job, Eris, for the second place. Shibe 21. 1 turn to go. And it's a podium for Shibe 21. Jen in 4th. Great job on the drivers today. They were able to compete in this one. Jason now with Speedy XR1. Jason's going to finish in 7th place, and Speedy XR1 going to finish in last place. Finishers in 8th place. There's Jason 2 laps down. Alright, looking over Speedy XR1. Speedy XR1. East 951, do not overtake Speedy. Do not overtake Speedy. Give us, East 951, stop your car. Don't overtake Speedy. Yep. He's a lap car. So let him finish this one. Also because you're going to be seen as ahead of Crucian. So please let the board finish. So East 951, please let the board finish. Do not cross East 951. Do not stop. Do not cross the line or else you'll be penalized. Alright. That is the order on the board. Twin Turbo V6. There's Netta. Shive 21, Jen, East 951, Crucian East 951, Jason, and SpeedXR 1. Ground 5 is the DNF, as well as a DNS for T7 Jake. Yeah, that's why I wasn't wanting you to cross the line in case I view this upon a later date. Alright, we're going to go to our interviewees. Twin Triple V sits currently. Do you want an interview? Yes or no? My driver of the day would probably have to go. Probably to you. You had a really good comeback. Went all the way to the back to the front. Which is pretty impressive. Okay, Aristonetta, how about you? There is a podium, so East 95 or Twin, if you could please head over to Victory Lane. Aristonetta to an interview. You can unmute yourself, I believe. If not, then let me know and I will do it for you.
Hold on, give me a moment. I need to give my Amazon tracking device. I need to tell it to shut up.
Alright, Twin, please make your way to the podium. It is a Victory Lane, by the way, so if you're, well, yeah.
Alright, do I give my interview or?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions?
Actually, before I do that, I'm gonna get the photo. So, we'll get the photo real quick. Yeah. Get the photo. Totally not a political photo. Boom. Photo taken. Unless anyone else wants to come, there's a bunch of people dropping over. Also, quick time of the race still. Twin Triple V sits with a 120.373. Alright. Thank you, guys. We're going to start with our interviews. Looking over to Aristonetta. Congratulations on second place. That was a good race for you, I'd say.
Could have been much better. Like, if it wasn't for all the mistakes I made, because I actually crashed a lot of times. It was a pretty solid race. Definitely better than I expected. Like, I expected myself to perform arguably terribly, because Northwest Ohio isn't exactly one of my strongest tracks. But I feel like it's because my mindset hasn't been right most of the time. I feel like most of the time when I drive Northwest Ohio, it's because I'm tired as hell, that I just drive when I see it. I don't try to formulate any strategy, but for this time I was actually scanning the turns, because I've told people what I do. I tend to not get a lot of practice, and I use qualifying and like the first half of the race as my practice. Unfortunately, my ability to stay out of the walls did not translate. I was actually, I had a very good record with not getting any cuts until like what, lap 4, I think. I was really happy because I didn't get cuts, but then the moment that I did get cuts, I tried my best to follow my 1 cut per lap limit, and I actually surpassed that. Pretty strong race, yeah. Track is fun, more fun than I thought. Definitely more fun than I remember from the GT3 testing around early this year. But that might have been because of my mental state. But that's not a big deal. But yeah, fun track, good race. Car fast. Wall. Ow.
Alright, as that goes, good job on Aaron's for that second place. Speaking of changes to the track, you could even see we do plan to do some improvements to the track. Not quite on the layout, although a few changes will be made to corners that have been noticeably an issue, per se. So there will be improvements. We'll see these as they go. And the details will be revamped a little bit to look a little more within style. Shibe21, would you like an interview? And also, I didn't realize I was muted. Alright. No interview for Shibe. Eris, no, would you like to add anything else?
I don't know. Thanks to all the nice people watching at home. I think that's how it went. Hey, what the fuck? Follow my Twitter, that one, and follow my other Twitter, Eris_Neta. Please. I'm not desperate, I promise. Okay? Uh-huh. I promise I'm not desperate.
Alright, we'll see, we'll see. Okay, so if Jen is still in the VC, let me see if I can unmute him. If you want to be interviewed, at least. If you don't want to, you could just, not be in the VC, that's chill. Activate voice activity, yeah, that's a lot better. He is not in this one. More than likely, very disappointed. And understandably so. I feel bad for the guy. He ran a solid race and a solid battle with Shy that had to be very painful for him. Alright, Snipe51, do you want an interview? You did say top 3 only, but I'll give you a chance. Not much to say. That was some great battling, though, for the 3rd place. Head wasn't right. No thoughts, head empty. Is that what I'm hearing? Earned the interview. Okay, well, someone that's definitely earned this one, quite literally fought through the storm. Give it to Dale Ross as a Crucian. Congratulations. That was honestly a great that was a great comeback, honestly. You started from the pits, made your way all the way back. Let me see if I can unmute you if you're really interested in speaking. If you're not, you don't need to. And if you can't, you don't need to. But if you want to, there you go. Mic's up for you. Alright, man.
Yeah, it was a whole bunch of stuff flying out in the yard and qualifying and all that stuff.
Oh my god.
So I had to, then me and my dad went down the driveway to make sure nothing was terribly bad. Because I live on a quarter-mile driveway, so that's why I had to step out for the pace laps.
Ah.
But, that race could have got a lot better. I believe I could have got 4th, but I wrecked a little bit too much, mainly in the chicane there. Was it like turn 5 or something?
Yeah. I mean, there's a good number of chicanes on this track, so it could have been any of them. But yeah.
It was a fun race. I like how tight the track is and how wide the car is, so it makes it a lot harder.
Alright, well, we will be trying to do some improvements for the track for the next time we do race. And we hope it will be popular, but we will keep an old copy, of course. Just in case, the plan, messes up. So I have to see how that goes. I hope you're doing well. Are you doing alright as far as the storm goes? You got supplies and stuff?
Yeah, power's on. It's just really windy out there right now. It ain't raining or nothing.
Jeez. Yeah. Best of luck with that, man. Alright. Got one more person. Speedy at R1. Do you want an interview? Actually, I'll unmute you if you do want an interview.
Painful race. Just focus on it this week.
Focus on this week. Well, next week is going to be an oval, and hopefully, you might find yourself finding somewhere to go. You've done really good during the testing on that, and you might just about, end up getting a podium. We'll have to see as things go. It's going to be a wild race next week. A lot of drivers are very balanced on this track. They know how it runs. We've not had much big races on this track before, but I think knowing how the series is going now, we'll more than likely see a fantastic sized field. But anyways, as far as racing goes for this week, if you'd like to add anything else up to that.
Milwaukee was a great track. The
Uh,
previous few have been. The previous few tracks have been not well.
Been a little bit of a weak point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it hasn't been going well, but just going through it.
That's good. That's good. I have to see you stronger next time you end up racing. So,
Yeah.
I'll have to see how you do next week. Alright, big hands to everyone. As far as racing goes, we are not yet done. We will be racing tomorrow at 12 p.m. USPST with the GTI GT3 series. And on Sunday, we will also be racing at 12 p.m. USPST with Mitt's car. That is, of course, if we could field a race with both series. But as long as that goes smoothly, well, that's how the schedule will be. If you see those streams, that means those races are going on. If you don't see a stream, the race is probably canceled. We'll have to see as things go. Anyways, for the ROX mods, we'll be going back to SLC Array for next week at Eagleville, which actually have been rebranded as Windridge Speedway, based in Ohio. Actually, is it Ohio, or was it... I actually don't think... I think it might have been in northwestern Pennsylvania, come to think about it, as was relabeled. We'll have to figure out as it goes. It is a real city. Where it's based on is a little place called Windridge. It is a fictional track, but the location is real, so if anyone would like to find that, you guys can say in the chat. And after that, we are probably, as far as the next road course race after this week, we'll be over in AIC for a short circuit race. We'll be using a slightly shorter layout, a little faster, but it should still provide for some great racing. We will be racing once again later in the year, once it's become wintertime fully, or actually once it becomes springtime, excuse me, in Santiago. So we hope to see you guys there. I'd also like to announce 1 month from now, we are going to go to the Spooky Night Grand Prix, the biggest event of the year for the SLC series, as well as some of our fellow series. There will be many events there, and we'll see you guys on the next announcement as that race goes on. There's a lot of planning still to be done, and if you guys know any series that you think would be cool to have at Spooky Night Grand Prix on track loans, the 1.3 mile track, actually mega facility with many different things from a small dirt track to a road course to a short track oval, kind of like 1/3 mile, as well as a drag strip, autocross, you name it, it could probably be done there. If you could find anything there for us, it would be greatly appreciated, guys. But that should commence for today as far as racing goes. So I will see you guys in tomorrow's race, hopefully, if that one gets started. And that should end everything. My voice is already starting to get lost.